Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. Time to do the State of the Union address, or I guess the how the channel's doing. Just to kind of give you guys updates where we're at, what we got coming up, and how the channel's performing, just in general. So, before we get started, don't forget you can like and subscribe. It helps support the channel for free, and that's what we're here to talk about. Links in the description, along with some other stuff in there if you want to help support the channel. So, let's start off with the easy stuff, how the channel's going. Channel's going really good. I want to thank everybody who subscribed and are making comments down below. It's really picked up. We've gained hundreds of subscribers in the last couple of weeks to a month. And I couldn't be happier, and it's all thanks to you guys, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Um, Conversation on topics, down in the comment sections is also going really well. I respond as much as I can to what I can. If I think I have something relevant to say, sometimes just if I don't respond to you, don't take it that I didn't read it. Um, because honestly, if I don't respond, I probably just think you made a good point and ain't got a whole lot to follow up with. Because sometimes an opinion is just an opinion. There's no need to argue it, and sometimes you may make a good point and that's just good enough, because it's something to really think about in a long, grand scheme of things um, moving forward. So, pretty cool. Um, Also, moving forward, we had our first live stream this last Sunday, 6 p.m. We had one person show up, a couple people popped in, not a lot of people talked. One viewer came in. We had a pretty good conversation, actually. Believe his name was Josh, or her name, or hell, who knows? It could be anything, right? Um, with that said, um, the I'm gonna have to kill some stuff like this. Um, we had a real conversation. Played a little brawl and a few other things. One thing that came up on the topic list during the live stream was if I played any blue-white brawl. And normally my deck does. I don't play normally blue-white brawl in my deck, so half a dozen one, 60 the other. But since he was asking about it, or she, or whatever, um, I figure that we're going to have another live stream this Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern as normal. What I can do in the meantime is I can build what I think is in my opinion, now not what I think, but in my opinion, uh, what the best blue-white brawl deck could be from what we have here on Arena. And from that, maybe we can, figure something out and see what we end up with. So that's my thought process. So coming up this weekend on Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, I will do a live stream again to have regular comments, talk about Magic sets, how Magic sets are performing, and so forth and so on. Play a little brawl with a blue-white control, which was actually controls asked for, not just blue-white. I guess I should have probably made that a thing, but so that's what we plan on doing this Friday. Excuse me, Sunday, when we're all said and done. So it should be a good time. Um, so we have that. Also, we have probably some other interesting things. Just some feedback on the box openings we got going on. They all have been already filmed, so some of the information may be a little old. Um, but again, I do think it's some good conversations, and if you can't afford to crack the box yourself, might as well watch me waste my money, right? So there's that. Uh, Moving forward, as far as box opening goes, speaking of Karloff Manor, a lot of comments were made about why I chose not to include some of the cards in the set, for example, um, that were actually worth some money, but I myself did not actually put them um, into the calculations. For example, cards like Slime Against Humanity, Pick Your Poison, and other things like that. So, with that said, I have sold some of those cards and listed them. Um, some of them are foils, some of them are not foils, so forth and so on. With all that being said, um, at the end of the day, how do I say this? Um, Basically, the only cards that really sold um, out of all the commons and so forth. Now the foils sold, so don't get me wrong there. That was pretty easy. But as far as other commons and uncommons, we did manage to sell a couple of crime novelists, a couple aftermath analysts, one or two long goodbyes, but not a whole lot. And I didn't have a whole lot to begin with, to be honest. So kind of half a dozen one, six the other. I have a giant stack of Pick Your Poison I'm staring at right now. Not really selling too well. Um, Again, it is a common, so maybe it's just not or doesn't have the value. I've done died in this one 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be enough to kill me. He plays that because I'll have to draw Wrath off top of my deck, and it's still not good enough. If he plays his Ragavon, which he has in his hand, yeah, there it is. I'm dead. Okay, moving on. Anyway, so I'm holding this stack of Pick Your Poisons. They're not. I've sold a couple of them, but not a lot of them. I've got over 30, but they're just not as hot as. I mean, they may be good. Don't get me wrong, but they're not hot like people thought they would be um, in the popper format. And maybe that's just from what I'm seeing. Maybe you guys are seeing something a little different. Just not seeing a lot of playthrough with the card. Because again, yes, you can sacrifice, make each opponent sacrifice an artifact, but the problem with that is they get to pick, so all it takes is them having a second artifact, and you can't deal, and they can pick which one they want, meaning they get to keep the good cards. So didn't play out all that way. Now, Slime Against Humanity, on the other hand, um, I had a good chunk of those. Not even gonna lie there, and I sold all of them. So, and I've got the number here for you. Um, I sold $120 worth of Slime Against Humanity. Again, all commons. Um, so that was pretty impressive. Not gonna lie. Now I did sell more than that technically, but I do bundle up some of my stuff. If you check on the website, I'll put together like play sets of commons and uncommons. And I had 4 of those play sets, so technically I did sell those slimes, but they were in a play set. So but if we take all the slimes against humanity possible, other random commons, uncommons, and a couple foils, I managed to pull about $150 worth out of that pocket, which uh, some people would say would adjust the box EV, and it probably would to some degree. But let's think about this. Um, all that I just sold that I told you about came from 6 collectors and 18 play boosters. Um, and that's a lot. So that's really 24 boxes. And if you divide that by 24, where's my calculator? So if we divide, um, what was I saying? Oh, 150. Oh, whoops. Screwed that up. We divide 150 by 24. It's only like $6 extra per box. Um, and that's fine, but it honestly doesn't change a lot of the math, um, especially since the box values have continued to drop and they have gotten cheaper. So, in my personal opinion, one of the reasons I don't include stuff like that is yes, the box value is cheaper than what you showed me or what I showed you, right? But at the same time, the ability to have that buffer of that $6 kind of offsets that market shift a little bit. So, the box value doesn't change technically from what I'm reporting, um, but it could. Um, so there is that. So take it with a grain of salt any way you like. Um, but I did think that was interesting. But also in the grand scheme of things, yes, I did get enough money to buy basically a whole play booster, with just selling commons, but the problem also with that, um, to be honest, uh, is the fact that I had to get 24 boxes to get that kind of return, which A is insane, and B, not really worth it in the grand scheme of things. Like, it may be cool to say, oh, I paid for a whole box of boosters with XYZ, but at the end of the day, having to spend the money on 18 play boosters and four collector or six collector boosters does not math out to make it worth your while to do that. Now, it does help you recoup some losses, I'm not going to lie, but at the end of the day, that was as good as it was and probably as good as it's going to get. But it was there for those people who wanted me to talk about it. So we have that. Um, Also, moving forward, um, we will have some collector boxes from Fallout. The price is way higher than I think it needs to be. Um, and with, we'll just say, how would you want to put, how should I put this? Um, oh, how should I put this? I'm not saying the cards aren't worth it, but I've noticed a lot of movement on TCG player and stuff slowing down. And some of the people I bought for, I got a good price on some of it, right? But not all of it. But the good thing about that, from the grand scheme of things, man, how am I going to deal with that thing? Put it back in its hand? Tail's end? Man, I need to deal with, I guess I'll get a rift. I'll bounce it to his hand, I guess, if I have to. Anyway, point being, I only got 2 collector boxes. I will try to get more before release, but I don't think the price is going to come down on them before release is over. So I may do some more openings later when the price drops, and I think it will. And now, again, I may be wrong about this, but when I look at it in the grand scheme of things, um, if you look at uh, Doctor Who, the price has kind of dropped to 200. Now, Lord of the Rings has stayed high. I don't think Fallout has the Lord of the Rings kind of following, but I do think it's better than Doctor Who. So I'm really kind of gambling a little bit, so I may be making a mistake. So don't follow my craziness. If you really want the cars, just get them. But that's my plan on it. And if they do fall back down to a normal range, I'm saying around 250. I'll probably go in, buy a whole case, and I'll open a whole case at one time, and we'll call it good. Um, so that's my plan with it. But like I said, I do have 2 boxes coming, so I will be able to open at least 2 boxes and see how it plays out. And that should be pretty well good, I think, in my personal opinion. Um, so sorry I couldn't get any more, but if you're trying to get Fallout and you see how much the prices are, you know as well as I do how much of a shit show it is trying to get that product. So it is what it is. So we'll do what we can. Um, yeah. Well, with that said, guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for supporting the channel, everybody. We're doing well. I have no plans to stop anytime soon, and we're gonna move forward long and strong, or short and weak since I'm a white guy. But anyway, um, thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, be kind. I hope to see you Sunday on the live stream. So until next time, I hope to see you on the live stream.